Welcome back, guys. I wanted to do something a little different tonight after I got done with my last project. I think there's a lot of great scenic, lovely areas of Decatur, some nice architecture, some nice areas, and especially at nighttime there's some things that are pretty cool, pretty well lit up around here. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and kind of go around and show some of the more beautiful side of Decatur. So right here behind me, I don't know how well we can pick up on my camera here, is Merchant Street. I absolutely love this street. It's one of my favorite places in this town. We have Dell's Popcorn Shop. You know, I'm starting to think every town has a popcorn shop. You know, Chicago has Garrett's. The town I grew up in, Lincoln, has Abe's Caramel Corn, and Decatur has Dell's. Dell's got a lot of cool, unique gifts, good popcorn, other snacks. It's a nice place to visit. I think some of these apartments up here, some of these patios, I don't know if anybody's got some Airbnb rentals up here or not, but if not, maybe I should invest, because I love this street. I can't express to you how much I love the street of this town. I've actually never even looked at this statue, so I thought I'd walk over here and check it out. It says Abraham Lincoln's first political speech. Lincoln mounted a stump by Harold's Tavern facing this square and defeated the Illinois Whig Party candidates near this spot at the age of 21 in the summer of 1830. This statue erected October 12, 1968 by the Decatur and Macon County Heritage Committee. So I'm learning a little history as you are, guys, right there. That's what I said. The Lincoln Square Theater, originally known as the Lincoln Theater, the Lincoln Theater opened in 1916. They've had shows acts such as Bob Hope and Houdini perform there. It was open as a theater until the late 1990s, and since the early 90s, a non-for-profit called the Friends of Lincoln Square Theater, a program, you know, trying to restore the building. They've been slowly doing renovations and updates as they go. There's occasionally celebrations and events and shows there. But it's a very cool theater with a lot of history, and if you ever get the opportunity to go inside for something, I highly recommend it. And just as a cool side note, with their nonprofit, is you can rent the marquee. I believe it's $200 to get a message put up on the marquee. So the article I was trying to read on transfer house is acting awkward on my phone. But so a few pieces of information. It was built in 1896. As I previously stated, the transfer house was a major hub for Central Illinois transportation, and it originally was placed at the Lincoln Square where we just came from. It was actually moved here in the 1960s, and as of like a year ago was remodeled, and like I said, you can now rent it out for parties. Santa Claus stays there, and it is the logo of Decatur. You'll see it on buses, on the city buildings or their vehicles, on street signs. I don't know if you can tell, I think my camera's not picking up very well in the dark here, but it has a red roof. Of course, we have the lights around it. This, guys, is why I wanted to do this video. This was my inspiration for doing a nighttime Decatur area video. I think 3 years ago. So let me back up. This is the Tate and Lyle building. Actually, I believe it's still known as the Staley building, but the company is Tate and Lyle. It used to be Staley's. Staley's, as I mentioned earlier, came into town in 1912. This building was their offices and opened in 1930. It has a Gothic architecture design to it, and I don't know the history to the lighting. I believe that it was lit up like this years and years ago, and they stopped doing it. I can tell you, when I moved in town 6 years ago, they did not have these lights on the building, and I think about 3 years ago they started lighting it up. And as you can see, if you pay attention to it, the lights transition around Christmas time. They move a little more, and it's a little bit more of a show. This building, I don't know how tall it is, but I can tell you that when you're downtown, you can see it. When you are on the north end of town, if you're angled right, you can see it. You can see this building from most of Decatur. And you all know where I'm at right now. If you've ever been to Decatur, you know this area right here. My daughter, my 3-year-old, calls it the Stinky Bridge. We go over it every time we're going to the gym, and we have a little joke where we say, "P.U., is that your butt?" And she says, "No, that's the Stinky Bridge's butt." So that has nothing to do with the Staley building and the lights. But since we're right here by the bridge, I thought I'd share that little story with you, because that's just one of those joys of fatherhood that I go through on a regular basis. Welcome back, guys. I realized the other night after filming in the dark, I needed to come out and get a few shots of some areas of town that you can see in the daylight. So on this lovely snowy, cloudy morning, it is actually kind of nice, other than there's no sun in the sky, but I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's snowing lightly. Obviously you can see it on the ground, but I don't know if you can see it through the air. So anyways, my first stop is the James Millikin site, house, mansion. I don't think it's called the mansion, but it's a big place. James and Anna Millikin are kind of staples of the Decatur community. Of course, we have Millikin University, which they founded. They lived in this house for 30 years. James Millikin passed away in 1909. So this is just a couple blocks from Millikin University, and there are guided tours you can take of this property. It is on the National Historic Registry, but to me it's just an amazing structure. I'm a big fan of old architecture, historical buildings. They just don't seem to build them with the crowd. Not maybe the build quality is better, but you know, this was someone's home. It's just impressive when you start looking at it. That tower that we can't see right now where we're at, but that tower is pretty darn cool. The design and the arches on this back porch here. I mean, if you're building a new house, are they gonna put all that into the back porch area, just the overhang? Of course, we have a carriage house next door. I don't know a lot historically about this, but James Millikin passed away in 1909. I would believe that that carriage house was used for carriages. Look at that window. I'm gonna try to take you around to several places in town, so I won't spend very long at any of them. Just trying to get a nice little walk around of some of these impressive structures. And I think you'll see by the end of the video today that I seem to like old stuff. And Again, we're 2 blocks from a road that I pass every day, and I often forget about this little restored Texaco station. There are no placards. I don't know if it's registered anywhere or if this is just someone's private property that they have restored, but I just love it. Every time I drive by, I just love this place. I'd love to see something in there, you know, an antique shop, gift shop. As you can see, there are chains across the way, so I'm not going to go walk up on their property. I don't know if they'd appreciate that or not, but it's pristine. Pretty cool little place. This mansion, this home, was built in 1884 at the cost of $28,000, and it wasn't owned by A.E. Staley, who everyone in Decatur knows of at the time. But he would pass through town and he'd see this place, and he always said he hoped to someday have enough money to have a home like this. This was his dream home. Well, in 1913 he purchased this mansion for $20,000, which kind of blows my mind. And then he had it updated. He was going to get some architecture from Chicago, an architect, I'm sorry, to renovate, and the estimated cost of that was going to be $10,000 to $15,000. Well, he ended up spending $125,000 on the updates, and that was in 1913. So definitely spent a lot of money. One of the main pieces you can see still today that he had updated is the wraparound enclosed porch, as we see here. Now, the reason I came to this house, because, you know, if you're just driving through town and you don't see the sign over here that says Staley Museum, it's just another big house, kind of impressive. This is the location for us Bears fans where George Halas purchased what was then known as the Decatur Staleys and moved them to Chicago to be known as the Chicago Bears. I could not find a lot of information on that. I believe, actually, ironically, on a ghost tour that I was on in town a few years back, I believe it was in one of these windows to the right in A.E. Staley's office area that the transaction took place, and I don't know if it was the first floor or the second floor. So one of those 2 rooms right there. George Halas, Papa Bear Halas, bought the Bears. So I just thought you deserved a minute to see the home of, I guess we could call it the home of the Bears, the home of the birth of the Bears. Let's call it that. They rose from corn. Why? No, soy. Why would I say corn? They rose from soy because Decatur is the soybean capital of the world. For those of you that don't know, this is the soy city, and that's because of Staley. Coming over to the side of the house, you can see this wraparound porch I mentioned. It just goes and goes and goes. And I noticed as I came to this side that there's a carriage house out back as well. So this really is a mansion. I stopped in the middle of the road. This has nothing to do with history, but this chicken and this chicken and this what is this other one? I don't even know what it is. It's not a quail. Someone educate me. I've seen that bird before, but I don't know what it is. These guys are not shy at all. They're just chilling in this front yard, and now they're chilling in the road. And I'm blocking the road. There's a truck coming, I just noticed, but like, that's my feet. These guys are like, hey, what's up? Giving you a little wildlife preview today. Man, these guys are not shy. They gotta be somebody's domestic birds. Fly away, chicken. Free Willy. Go, Willy. Go, birds. Go, chickens. Chicken nugget. Fried chicken. Colonel Sanders is coming for you. Okay, I'm leaving now. We're now in downtown Decatur. And this is an active Firestone tire shop. Those of you guys that don't know, Bridgestone Firestone used to be a major staple. They had a major plant in Decatur. And just, I love the structure, this overhang. Unfortunately, they don't keep these neon lights going anymore. I'm sure they used to be neon. All glass front. Of course, all their days. So I just want to take a minute and stop by here because, oh, tell me what you guys think. Am I the only one? Things like this just speak to yesteryear to me, and I appreciate them, and I love seeing them. So maybe nothing exciting about it, but man, can't you just see this place glowing at night with some, at least the yellow lights? Kind of ugly look those yellow ones were, but just the nostalgia of it. This theater is still open, up and running. It's my favorite place to see a movie in town. It's not very expensive. They have a couple screens. They have great popcorn. They've got bacon popcorn. And you go in there and it's a step back in time. The theater is up on a stage. There's a balcony. It's not open anymore, but the stage is there. There's a couple big lights. I don't know how else to describe them to you. They're tall. They're probably 12 foot tall, or maybe I'm way exaggerating because I'm sitting down in my seat, but this theater is really cool. Maybe someday I'll be able to talk to the owner and come make some kind of video showing his theater off, because this is family owned, of course. Still active today, kicking, and I almost said kicking and screaming. I bet I said that, wanted to say that because of the sign, the scream sign. See, they're still going. They got Sing 2, The King's Daughter. This place is a great place to see a movie. Come to Decatur. If you guys live in Central Illinois and you want to see a movie, but you're tired of just spending a crud load of money, or you're tired of just your normal old movie theater, swing down to Decatur and come see it in a historical family-owned theater, because this is a great place. Got a parking garage right across the street. This is where we always park when I come to the movie. Yeah, I'm showing you a YouTube video right now of a parking garage, but you know, hey, whatever. So when it's snowing, your car will stay clean while you're in the movie. Come check it out. So this is the transfer house in Central Park in Decatur. This right here is the logo of Decatur. This transfer house was not built here. It was built and originally placed at Lincoln Square, which we were at the other evening. In fact, that statue of Abraham Lincoln was over there. It makes me wonder if that speech he gave was at the transfer house, because it's right in that area. So this building was built in 1896, and Decatur used to have an electric rail car system, and so that's what this transfer house did. It was a spot for those cars to turn around. And after the rail car system went away, it was a bus terminal, and buses would come, and there was a major hub. You know, this was a major spot in Central Illinois. People would come and go, and right here is where they'd meet up. Well, ultimately, the Illinois Department of Transportation decided that it was congesting that street, Highway 51, too much, and so it was moved down here, and that was in the 1960s. I don't know exactly what year. This building's been renovated a couple times. It was renovated in the 70s, and just recently a complete renovation done. And currently today, this is where Santa Claus comes, and you can come bring your kids to meet Santa. You can also rent out the building for parties. There's a restroom inside now, special events. I don't know the prices, but you know, it'd be a pretty unique party. I might do that sometime. I feel like I should. I'm in a public park, so let's go up to the windows here. And from best I could tell, hopefully you're not getting too much glare there. It's basically a enclosed room, nothing special in there. I mean, but you know, there's electricity, there's a bathroom. Big fun place to have a party, if you're eating or whatever, you know. Just the environment, especially in the summertime. Be here in the park. We have a water fountain. Oh, this says 1895. Maybe they started building in 1895. When you look up online, they say 1896 is when it was built. So here in Lake Decatur at the boat dock area, guys, and I needed to take a moment, since I am going around town and showing significant sites to you, to show the 9/11 memorial that we have here in town. This memorial specifically does have a beam from the World Trade Center building. That is a file cabinet fused to an I-beam from that day. This memorial lights up, well, it's lit up now, but at night you can see it. It's a spectacle. And there is a message here, symbolism. Try to cover this. It's a little lengthy, but I think it's worth reading to you guys. This memorial acknowledges all the tragedies of 9/11/2001, the Twin Towers, World Trade Center Twin Towers, the Pentagon base, and the red concrete at 9 and 3 o'clock, Flight 93. The 13.5-foot I-beam from the Twin Towers inside one tower symbolizes we remember. The new I-beam with freedom symbolizes we rebuild, as well as the newly built Freedom Tower in New York. And by our rebuilding symbolizes we become stronger. The flames illuminated in red at the bottom of the tower symbolize the fires of destruction which occurred on 9/11/2001. Whereas the doves illuminated in white soar high into the sky and symbolizes that something good can come from the tragedies, bringing unity to our nation. We hope this memorial will let everyone know that we will never forget the events of 9/11/2001, as well as to represent that from whatever trials or tragedies we face, there is hope to become stronger, or that something good can come from it. Located on the Twin Tower I-beam is a file cabinet drawer fused to the I-beam by the intense heat of the fires. On the morning of 9/11/2001, someone may have been next to that file cabinet, not realizing how in minutes things can change dramatically. Seize and appreciate each moment. We're gonna close out today, guys, by revisiting a site we were at in the same video I was at 2 nights ago. You got to see the Staley building with all the lights going at night in the dark. But I mentioned the Gothic architecture, but you couldn't really see it in the dark. So I was like, I want to swing back by. I wish I had zoom. I use a GoPro for my videos. I may adjust that. I might get something else eventually, but for now I'm going to continue with this GoPro. But with the smog, well, it's not smog, with the smoke and the overcast day we have here, it kind of feels like Gotham City. Got our American flag up there. We have this is an impressive structure. This building's pretty cool. So I just wanted to come give you at least one look of it in the daylight so you could see some of those inspired architectural designs of this place. This video might be a little different than what you guys are getting used to seeing from me, but I really enjoyed doing it. I'll probably gonna do some more like this in the future. So if you liked what you saw, like, subscribe, comment on that video. If you have any answers to those questions, like what was that bird with the chickens? I know that somebody knows what that was. Let me know. I will see you guys next time.